Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here. In today's video we're going to talk about the new NEOGEO Arcade Stick. Let's get started. News dropped about this arcade stick a little while back, but I didn't do a video on it because we really didn't know a whole lot about it. Now SNK has put out some more news today to help clarify some details. So I have SNK's website up right now. I will leave a link to this in the description below. And we can take a quick peek at the news release. So it says, introducing the NEOGEO Arcade Stick Pro, a fighting stick with 20 classic SNK fighters pre-installed. Now reading a little further here, it says it's an incredibly unique fighting stick in that it comes with fighting games pre-installed. It gives the dimensions of the stick, and it says here, this is a neat little feature. Additionally, the arcade stick can switch between two modes, arcade stick mode and console mode. They do say they have plans for a worldwide release. However, please understand that the specifics may change based on the country. Please wait for more updates concerning launch date and price. So right now there is no launch date for this, there is no price for this, but we know a couple of things. First and foremost, you can use this as an arcade stick. So if you wanted to use it as a fight stick for a computer, you can just plug it in, I'm going to assume, to your computer and just use it in fight stick mode. Or you can use it as a console. So it's kind of a dual purpose thing, and it looks to be very similar to the Capcom fight stick that was announced just a little while back. And just to refresh your memory, this is the Capcom home arcade system, which is a fight stick and home arcade built into one, very similar to the NEOGEO offering. The main differences here, you can see first and foremost, this has 2-player controls built right in, and the design is significantly different. And in terms of pricing for the Capcom home arcade system, it's sitting right now at $287.50 US. Looking at this stick in more detail, it says joystick, mode indicator, buttons over here. It's got turbo, options, select, start, power input port. So I'm going to guess that's only going to be for the home console use and not for the actual fight stick use. HDMI output port, USB port, cable storage box. There are ports here as well. You can plug those NEOGEO Mini pads in there, and there's also a headphone port. So looking in joystick mode, it says NEOGEO Mini or PC. So it says we guarantee a solid experience with this arcade stick. So it doesn't look like it's going to be compatible with a PS4 or Xbox or anything like that. It'll just be NEOGEO Mini and PC. So I'm going to guess it's a direct input controller, not an X input. But that's just speculating at this point. But at the very least, we do know it's going to be on PC and the NEOGEO Mini. And yes, that means it's probably also going to work with the Raspberry Pi. If we scroll down to console mode here, it says simply connect the stick via HDMI cable into a TV and get ready to enjoy some of SNK's finest fighting games. I will stop for a second and just say SNK makes very good fighting games. They really do. They're often overlooked. King of Fighters is very good, Mark of the Wolves is very good, and it looks like it's just going to be fighting games, so you might not see the same offering that's on the NEOGEO Mini. So it may just be games like Mark of the Wolves and King of Fighters. You probably won't see Metal Slug if this is the case, or some other games kind of like that. Now I know one thing for sure, there were a few people, myself included. I'm going to try to zoom in on this. These buttons, well, I guess they're indicator lights right here. I originally thought they might be buttons, and I was slightly concerned. I didn't want to speculate and assume that they were going to be buttons, but it looks like they are, well, they're describing them as indicator lights, so mode indicator, which is much better than buttons. If those were actually buttons, you would probably, more often than not, accidentally touch them. In terms of overall button layout, this is just a standard fight stick, I would say. I'm not sure how they're going to incorporate these last buttons, if they'll even work with the SNK little NEOGEO Mini. I'm not sure because those aren't normally used. Actually, these last 4 buttons aren't normally used. So I'm kind of curious to see how that all works, but at the very least, it could be used as a full fight stick with no issue. In terms of quality of parts, I think this is going to be a very big question And I think if it has low quality parts, I think it may be detrimental to the success of this stick. Now the Capcom stick, for example, is coming out with full Sanwa parts. So it's going to have Sanwa joysticks, Sanwa buttons, which are kind of the arcade standard. Like if you have Sanwa Famitsu, those are very solid choices. But I do have my reservations on the quality of parts. Now, it's hard to tell, it's near impossible to tell, I'll say, as to whether or not these are Sanwa parts or are Famitsu parts. I don't know. You can't really tell based on an image. The overall shape of this is also interesting. I'll say it's not a bad shape by any stretch of the imagination. Most fight sticks are just a rectangle, so having a few little curves on it really isn't a big deal. It also looks slightly more low profile than the Capcom stick, which may have a few bonuses here in terms of portability. I'm also seeing the headphone jack in the center, which is really nice. So if you wanted to play this silently, you can via the headphone jack. I'm not sure if this will work on the computer, but I'm going to assume that it will work in the home console mode, so you can enjoy playing this fight stick on your TV silently. But at the same time, fight sticks are notoriously loud, so the buttons will be loud, and so will probably the joystick. And I'm going to guess the difference between the mode switch and the platform switch. Mode is probably either joystick mode or home arcade mode, and the platform switch will be either NEOGEO or PC. That's my guess anyway at this point. Looking at the very bottom, I do like the cable storage box. I do like the overall look of this. It looks kind of neat. I wouldn't say it is the best looking fight stick out there, but I also say it's not the worst looking one either. So it's kind of a unique offering. I'm assuming this is going to be all plastic shell, and I don't know if there is going to be any metal parts of it, but on higher quality fight sticks, the top panel is usually metal, just for some extra reinforcement. If this is plastic and it's a complete plastic shell, I'm not sure about durability at this point. Now, in terms of whether or not I'm excited about this, I don't know yet. I don't want to speculate. I don't want to form an opinion on this before I know all the details. I don't know what games are going to be on it. I don't know what parts are going to be used. I don't even know the price. So with all those factors considered, I can be transparent. I am excited to learn more about the stick. I'm excited to see what information is going to come out. I'm also excited in the fact that more retro things are being released, and fighting games are getting attention, fight sticks are getting attention, the retro scene is getting attention, and that is all good to me. Now, one thing I will speculate on, I can probably form a safe opinion. Is this something a fight stick enthusiast would enjoy? Is this a product that someone would take to a fighting game tournament or high level play? I don't think so. I think there are a lot of options out there, and that's pure speculation. Whether or not this would be a top tier fight stick, and I think I can safely assume it's not. This is probably more for the casual gamer, similar to the Capcom Home Arcade. For example, I could not see anyone dragging this Capcom Home Arcade to a tournament. I don't think that was very feasible at all. Maybe, but I really don't see it. I really think that this NEOGEO stick falls into that same category where it's kind of just an at-home thing for casual use. And is that a bad thing? No, I don't think so at all. We'll see the price, we'll see what games are on it, and go from there. Anyways, that's all I've got for today. Let me know what you think about this NEOGEO Arcade Stick in the comments below. I'm curious to see what people are thinking. If you know anything more than I do than what's available here, let me know in the comments below, because I'm really curious. Anyways, if you liked the video, leave a like. If you didn't like the video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Thank you everyone, take care.